Welcome to season 3 of Build and Grow Money Matters, a series dedicated to helping businesses go beyond financial management to achieve growth, resilience, and innovation. As businesses continue to revive and pivot to newer business models in these times, Your Story is proud to partner with HSBC for another season of inspiring conversations, insights, and observations from some of the newest trendsetters in business and stalwarts of the ecosystem to help businesses power the next phase of growth and business continuity. We live in a world where people prefer a chat conversation rather than a phone call to get their queries addressed by businesses, which has led to several businesses using chatbots. But one of the biggest problems with these chatbots and conversational AI is their poor contextual response and ability to understand the emotional quotient of the user. So, Bengaluru-based Yellow Messenger is solving this problem with its AI-powered interface that converses with users and responds to their queries in real time. Give the big picture, we have with us my friend Raghu Ravinutala, co-founder and CEO Yellow Messenger. Raghu has worked with leading technology companies like TI, Texas Instruments, that is, and he's worked with Broadcom for several years across leadership roles in engineering, product management, and business development. As someone who practices an active lifestyle, he enjoys a game of squash now and then. Welcome, Raghu. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey Vishal, good to see you. It's super exciting to talk to you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. And by the way, guys, I'm Vishal Krishna, your business editor, and let's get on with it. And for me, Yellow Messenger is the world's first cognitive engagement cloud. It has powered over 500 plus global clients, and it powers 30 million conversations every month. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
The journey really started when we all noticed that all of us, among our friends, our families, were adopting WhatsApp for most of their communication. And it naturally felt like in the future, a lot of this interaction between consumers and businesses is going to happen on messaging and real-time platforms, messaging and potentially voice. And in that scenario, enterprises would need to sell their products and services, enable marketing, provide customer support on these real-time platforms. And that was the origin of the company, to provide the tool set and the platform for enterprises to engage and drive marketing support and commerce on these messaging and real-time platforms. And since then, we started with some of the leading enterprises in India, like Tata Power, IOCL, Asian Paints. And we saw some great adoption, not only by enterprises, but their end consumers. So immediately enterprises started seeing reduction in phone calls, improvement in CSAT for the end customers. And that led to our growth in India over 2017 and 2018. And then we moved to Southeast Asia. We had about 100 plus customers by then in India. And we added multilingual capabilities to go into that region. And what I can proudly say about our team is right now, we have about 150 plus customers in Southeast Asia, and we are the leaders in that market with customers such as Sephora, JDID, Zillow, etc. And in 2020, we started getting customers from the US market, some really large enterprise names like Roche, Warmash, Schlumberger. And this year, the company is looking to further strengthen the traction in the US market. So myself, my co-founder are moving there. And really, I think we have a shot at building a really enduring global leader in conversational CX space. So that's been broadly our journey, Vishal.
And I want to understand that once I sign up with you as a customer, once the brand takes over your product, and do you continuously evolve the bot that you have? Talk a little bit about what happens post implementation, please.
So when a customer signs up with the company, they are looking to achieve an objective. The objective is potentially increasing the customer experience, enabling commerce on messaging platforms like WhatsApp, automatic customer support on telephony. And they choose that, hey, 80% of my incoming calls are essentially solving or related to this 20% of use cases or this structure. They go on and we help them implement that within the platform and automate that. What happens post that is the platform provides the ability for these enterprise customers to constantly manage their content, manage the bot, enable agents to work along, coordinate with the bot, and drive the interaction, and constantly provide training, integrations, etc. In a few cases where the customers do not have the bandwidth, we also have partners like Accenture, TCS, etc., who help customers in expanding the functionality of the digital assistants that they are launching. The company ourselves, we also have a customer success team that makes sure that month on month they keep seeing incremental ROI
Correct.
from their deployments, because we see these deployments not as do it once and static deployments, but we see them as active living digital assistants that constantly keep improving, just like a human who keeps on learning. And that's a metric that we track closely, is whether a single customer is constantly seeing incremental improvements in ROI as the usage keeps increasing, Vishal.
Well said, really. This is interesting because your two products, Canary and Bumblebee, right? They're end-to-end solutions, right? What makes them unique, Raghu?
Yeah. So let me go back on why we created them. We started off as a platform that is enabling enterprises to create these digital assistants and provide a AI plus human support to the end users. What we realized is the number of use cases, domains that the end users want to adopt this is rather huge. So it provided them the flexibility to create different experiences on the platform. But we also noticed some other thing. We are seeing that a similar set of companies across retail, all of them had similar integrations to, let's say, a Shopify, Magento. All of them had very similar use cases like getting a status of an order, engaging with the customer for missing the shopping cart, etc. So we created these accelerators or packages on top of the platform. They are really not separate products. They're really the same product, but it's a packaged offering for retail customers, which is Canary, that includes all the flows that are common that across, let's say, shopping, customer support, marketing, with pre-built integrations across Shopify, Magento, etc., which makes it really unique. And we've seen customers go live within one day because all these offerings, integrations are available from day one. But the underneath platform still enables the flexibility for each of the customers to further add their specific customized use cases. A similar structure happens for Bumblebee, which is for internal enterprise automation, be it HR, IT support, etc. Comes with pre-built packages for very fast time to value, but the platform still provides the flexibility to further extend it to their needs, Vishal.
I like this deployment. You can handle both internal and external queries. It's a phenomenal way to approach retail, corporate, right? It's amazing. So, the interesting thing for the deployment part is I want to understand what has been the most challenging deployment for you. Which one would it be and why? I mean, in this journey, you would have had some ups and downs, and the challenges would be more interesting because they're learnings, right? So, over to you.
Absolutely. I think our challenge. I'll not be able to take the name of the customer,
Yes,
but it's one of the
no
large
problem.
tax departments within globally, right? And it's a government it's a government deployment handling very sensitive data as much as tax services for citizens. And the kind of security, the kind of compliance needed for that, and the number of approvals that we had to work through multiple organizations to enable these transactions has been mammoth and phenomenal. While this has been one of the challenging engagements, I think this completely improved the underlying security compliance features for the company, that we are now confident, and our customers are confident that if a tax department of a country is trusting Yellow Messenger with the data of the taxpayers and they are happy with the security, we can handle the security of any large bank, any financial services companies, any pharmaceutical companies. So apart from the challenge comes the opportunity to improve. So this was one of our challenging engagement, and that drove to a lot more opportunities that we are seeing as well.
Okay. From clients to, world-beating pandemic, right? Nobody expected it, right? And, but you bounce back in many ways. I shouldn't even say bounce back because you've done very well over last year.
Yes.
So how did you handle the pandemic? What leadership capabilities that you brought into the company to ensure that it ran smoothly? And what are some of the key takeaways that our audience can learn from you in terms of leadership?
The first thing that I would say on handling the pandemic and leadership is I think the team at Yellow Messenger actually showed me how to kind of lead in the pandemic. So a lot of the credit for how we handle the pandemic actually comes from leadership, not just shown by the management team, but across multiple levels of the company. That we didn't almost miss a beat during the entire camp. A few of the things I really learned, there are some leaders who kind of immediately came up with a completely new positioning for the market. So we clearly saw that the retail sector was completely disrupted because there were no distributors around, and companies want to directly engage with the end users, and WhatsApp was a channel. And we had a leader who was taking care of a geography, who came back with this value proposition that we can go with the customers, and this value proposition led to 150 plus customers during the pandemic, which is our sharpest rise. It was much better than before pandemic. And I think that's the leadership capability that I think some of the team members showed. Similarly, in helping enterprises manage the transition to work from home by providing virtual assistants that can handle the queries during that transition. So if there is any one lesson that I kind of carry from the pandemic, is that empowerment of leaders and empowering your entire company to be leaders themselves and take up things, and having that freedom, flexibility, and have the management learn from how your colleagues have demonstrated these leadership capabilities. I think that's the biggest thing that I can take away, and that gives me even more confidence that with by handling the stress, etc., involved with the pandemic, if the team is able to come up, think creatively, execute really tough things, I'm in a great company and a great place. So I think, yeah, so that's my learning, Vishal, frankly.
It's nicely said that the team is also important, that teaches you how to lead. That's a phenomenal answer, by the way. Last year, everybody wants to know about funding. So you raised funding during the pandemic. It was about 20 million from Lightspeed and Series B. When that happened, right? How are you utilizing these funds in the pandemic? I mean, did you enter other markets? Did you use the funding to improve your product? What did you use it for?
Yes, I think the first priority is to invest in the product. This is a product that is core for a lot of our customers, as it's the primary mode of communicating and interacting with their audience, and so much more important during COVID. So last year we invested a lot in engineering and product. I think the engineering and product team almost tripled during the last year to make sure that we are executing towards the roadmap, and making sure that the product is delivering to the very high consumer expectations. The second area wherein we invested was customer success. We want to make sure that the companies continuously realize value from the product, and that's the priority investment that we had. Apart from the second priority investment apart from product engineering that we had, to make sure people who trusted us and who partnered with us are very, very successful. The third comes really the expansion, where we believe even right now that every business, every enterprise in the world needs what we are building, and they deserve to have this product, because that increases the way that their end customers are enjoying their products and services. And it's our responsibility to make sure that we make them aware that there's a product like this that exists, and make sure that we have the distribution network to enable them to use it, and and reap benefits from it. So, so we expanded into Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. We expanded into Latin America. We expanded into US. All of them are showing great initial momentum. So a lot of the funding went in expanding our distribution network to new geographies, and I think there's a lot more to do as well in that direction.
No, really nice of you to, tell me about your market expansion. I think Southeast Asia is a great market. Everybody looks at North America, but you are going there too, right?
Absolutely. For us, Southeast Asia and India are core markets. These are not markets for us which we want to test and oh, yeah, we're testing in this market, but our real market is US. It's absolutely not. There is a strong reason for it. These markets are messaging first. If there is any one application that a majority of the people in this market use, that's messaging products. And the only way for enterprises to reach digitally this large section of people is only through messaging. There is no other application that's kind of widely distributed for them to reach digitally. Somebody wants to reach out a person in a tier 2 area, rural area. They are on WhatsApp. They really want to interact on either voice. They potentially cannot read or write. They can just share some messages. They can't go through the complex interfaces. And this is the market that has large scale. This is the market that is complex, multiple languages, etc. And a large in size as well. The number of people are really huge. And the market size of India plus Southeast Asia will easily enable our company to get to multiple $100 million of revenue. The market is really large. The reason we are going to the US market is that building on back of this, this must-have need from India and Southeast Asia market, the solution itself has become so robust that it has become a winning product in the US markets. A company like Schlumberger could choose anyone in the world, and we got customers that are tier 1 enterprises in the US market. And we feel right now that as a company, we have a great shot at becoming the global leader in this space. And really to pursue that ambition is what drives us to go into the US and Western markets and build on our momentum there, Vishal.
Phenomenal. And no wonder you launched the Get AI Ready campaign.
Yes.
It was very important during the pandemic because it powers enterprises with virtual assistants and WhatsApp business accounts, and it is for free, right? It must have helped you boost your sales and drive growth. Tell me about it.
Well, absolutely. I think I touched upon earlier saying that I think every company needs it, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we evangelize what we are building and the benefits this gets to the organizations. And we all know the adage that the best way to understand this is to see it working rather than presenting PowerPoint templates of, oh, you're going to get this value. So we thought of launching a campaign that gives free access for 3 months to deploy and test it out, how their users adopt it and what's the value that they are getting. And the proof is in the pudding. So that led to almost 350 plus customers using those free trials in the last quarter of last year. And a significant part of them, more than 70%, continue to be our customers. They signed up for long-term contracts and they saw the value and continue to use the product and enhance their customer experience, Vishal. And that's kind of leading us to create that experiment led us to our strategy of going towards product-led growth. So now what we did is we opened up the platform for self-serve, giving a 45-day free trial. So anyone looking to improve their customer experience using Conversations, they don't need to talk to our salespeople. Just use it, launch it. They're happy in 45 days. They can continue by subscribing to a subscription plan. So I think that enabled us create a product-led growth strategy for the company. Apart from the 350 customers.
Okay. Raghu, you also collaborated with Microsoft, I'm sure. And apparently you built a human-like voice automation platform. that can understand and respond based on sentiment, dialect, and workflow. Back in 2015, we were just thinking about how do we solve these things. It was very tough. What has changed that you could do this form of a collaboration with Microsoft and solve it in a human manner? Technology sounding like human was like science fiction a few years ago. Now it looks like reality.
No, absolutely. I think trigger for this partnership with Microsoft really came from our customer need that I think it's great automating on your text channels, website, mobile app, WhatsApp, etc. But we still continue to have a lot of customers call us directly, though there is a deflection happening, the number of calls are coming down. Can we rather address that directly by having these digital assistants plugged onto our telephony itself? We had the entire platform ready from a natural language perspective. And to enable that, we needed a voice processing engine that can convert these voice files into a natural language processable files, right, or conversations.
Yes.
And then we tied up with Microsoft. And one of the key things required to build a human-like interface is the ability of these voice models to take dynamic training. So the kind of utterances, the kind of conversations used by different companies are different. And this provides the Microsoft models provided the ability to do enterprise specific voice training on top of them. So our NLP engine can get the right intents, can get the right information from those conversations to drive this end to end in a human-like manner. And that is seeing phenomenal traction, Vishal. So we have some of the largest banks in India, Indonesia, and even in the US market adopt voice-based automation, and that kind of spawned a new vertical within the company. The product remains the same, but it adds an important new channel
Yes.
for enabling our enterprises to interact with their customers.
Is that why you're also hiring a lot more now? Because you have to build a great product. You've employed 250 people over the last year, and this massive hiring leap has got to do with the product and the sales, or just product?
No, so it's product and sales. I think our
Okay.
sales team grew more than 3x over the last year, and especially when you're selling enterprise SaaS, the number of customers that you can onboard is reasonably proportional or correlated to the sales capacity that you built. And we believe that the market is large. We are nowhere near capping of the market. And even right now, as a strategy for the company, if there is a great sales person anywhere in the world, we will just hire. There's no requisition needed. It's always hiring for great salespeople because you just need so many great sales and marketing people to kind of distribute the product across the world. And of course, there's been investment in product engineering and customer success as well. But a majority of the hiring has happened on the go-to-market function, Vishal.
Okay. Next question is more from a Gartner perspective, because they have some numbers out, and I want to understand how it works on multi-channel engagement platforms. Right? It states that Gartner states that by 2025, customer service organizations embedding AI in their multi-channel engagement platform will elevate operational efficiency by 25%. So I would like to know, how would you achieve this next 18 to 24 months at Yellow Messenger for your customers? And is that operational efficiency 25%? What is it measured on?
So the way the companies are looking at operational efficiency, Vishal, is that if there are X number, let's say there are 1 million interactions that happen at a fashion retailer.
Correct.
And all of them are right now are handled by humans. There's 100% human led. The way that they see is that out of those 1 million interactions, can deploying Yellow Messenger can take care of 50 to 60% of those interactions in a better way by using automation, and have the humans really focus on more cognitively demanding conversations. To give an example, somebody is looking to change itinerary on an airline. That's a straightforward request that can easily be handled by conversation and automation. But the same person wants assurance on the COVID protocols, right? Or really be safe. I think it's that assurance is potentially better provided by the human. The humans are more are good at providing that emotional connect with the end users. So what really companies are taking cue is that whether this product can come and automate 60 to 70% of the conversations, which really don't need humans, and our representatives handle the most emotive, cognitive, loaded conversations, and the cost savings that they get from automation, they are further fueling to improve the capability and their customer experience capabilities at the back end, which are core to the company. That's how companies measure their operational efficiency. And for most of our customers, they're easily above the 25% operational efficiency that you are seeing in the market. So we have customers that have reached 70 to 80% of automation for their customer support journeys. And you should try out the Indigo automation on the Indigo side when you're traveling. That's highly.
I can't wait to travel, and I'd love to use your products. And the funny part is, so basically, you're saying that capital deployed onto you can now increase operational efficiency by X.
Yes.
You're not spending on humans, or you're not wasting time, because there's also time element here, and I'm sure all queries are answered fast, right?
Absolutely.
This is a fascinating journey that you've just told us. I want to get into a couple of important questions about money,
Yes.
right? Because this is called, Money Matters, Build and Grow, the show. So I wanted to understand, how do you make your money grow, and what is your relationship with money like? You can get philosophical if you want.
I don't have a philosophical view, Vishal. I mean, I think thinking about money in general is I think I feel that Indians over a period of time, especially India, I think they have potentially a negative relationship with money, I would say. And for me, I think wealth creation is a very important part of my life. Wealth creation as a goal, which I believe everyone should look at it seriously, because I think wealth creation improves you as a person as long as you're doing it legally. You are working towards developing your skills. You're looking at providing more value to the world in general, and wealth is a direct correlation and measurement of the value that you are providing to the external world in a way, right? And I think coming to a more operational and day-to-day aspect, I think I definitely invest in equities. It's been that's where I think my wealth has grown over a period of time. Right from day one, I think I've kept investing in the companies that I work for, and I started investing in equity markets in 2004. And I think a lot of that actually enabled choices for me throughout my life, that I could take the risk when I wanted to come and start up. And I think only one regret I have, I think many of us have, is I had Bitcoin in my mind. I was lazy to not download that app and make that investment at that particular time. But I mean, I would kind of clearly see that I think wealth creation as a goal improves the personality as long as you're doing it legally and you're not sacrificing things important in your life. You're not sacrificing health. You're not sacrificing family. As long as those basics remain, I think wealth creation is a phenomenal goal to pursue.
That's a lovely statement. Don't sacrifice your family for money, but go after wealth creation. Very important. Great point. That's perhaps the best answer I've had in the show. So nice of you. And as an entrepreneur, what are your expectations from lenders and banks for business?
Yeah, again, I'll not be philosophical here. So I think so lenders, I think I have only one expectation, is the lowest interest rates possible. But apart from that, I think the flexibility that it can provide in terms of how you can get the money required at the right time for you to scale the company, whether you could leverage your invoices, whether you can leverage your IP, whether you can leverage cash in different countries. So I think the flexibility that a lender can provide, enabling debt for the company at the right rates, I think that can play a big role in the company. The second thing I expect from banks is, especially the growth that we are seeing in different markets, is the seamlessness of managing the money spent across multiple geographies in a very centralized manner, and the CFO has the view and control of how the money is flowing in and flowing out across different regions. So that's the expectation, Vishal.
And that's how you reimagine conversations with AI too. And you have to do it with Yellow Messenger if you want to try AI and your chatbots. And it's also beyond chatbots. AI is going to change the way you work towards operational efficiency. And that's Raghu Ravinutala, my friend, who's a co-founder and CEO of Yellow Messenger. Thank you so much, Raghu, for being on Build and Grow Money Matters. And we will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vishal. Great being here.